everybody, it's Kathy Champion, and we're back again to work on our little Christmas cookie or treat folio. So in our last video we went ahead and built this, and this is our first page that folds out like this, and then we open it up and this folds up like this, and then we open it one more time and this folds down. It also folds up to reveal another pocket. This folds up to reveal a pocket, and this is a pocket here. These will become pockets as soon as we close them up. But what we want to do first and foremost, I had made this little pocket to go right here. I didn't want to adhere it because I really wanted to put, I got a frog in my throat, so please excuse me. I wanted to put a piece of decorative paper behind there. So I thought what I would do is I would come in with a piece of red. I mean, who doesn't love red and black together? So we're going to put that right there. And then on top of our pocket, I thought, how cute would it be to use a piece of this little apron rolling pin and baker's mitt paper. So we're going to put that down right there. I also brought in another piece of the red that's the same color of that background. So we're going to put that right here. And then I punched this out of the paper. Christmas is what you bake it. I thought, how stinking cute is that? This is all going to build on our pocket, and this is all going to go down like that. Is that not precious? I know it's a lot of layers, but I have said this so many times in crafting, layering is what makes everything so beautiful. So we are going to definitely layer this up because I love the layers. I think it makes it look rich and vibrant. And I am going to go ahead and load up my art glitter glue, and I am going to bring this about halfway because I want that to kind of be in the middle. Let's see if we can open this up. Yeah, that'll give us more of a flat surface to work on. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to slide this up because I'm going to work on the pocket before I put it down. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then I'm going to come back and punch that hole out using that same punch. Or should I punch it now? Maybe I'll punch it first and then we can line it up. So if y'all remember, I had my little 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to do it from the top. So I'm going to put this back on and make sure it's the right orientation, and that is it. And I'm going to go like right here. You know what? I really want to make sure that I'm getting this even. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to line it up here and then go in and punch it. I think that will be my best bet for getting my punch exactly where I want it. Yep, that worked. And then that way we can have that little border underneath the punch as well. I like that. Alright, so let's glue this down. And look at the back side. I love that paper too, but I'm using that on the front. So I think for that reason I'm going to continue with what I had originally thought. And we're going to glue this down. And I'm going to move my flaps. I'm going to like just bend my flaps out just to help me get this centered up a little bit better. And the good thing, we can use that top as well. That looks pretty good. Now we got this solid piece of red that we're going to put right here. So let's go ahead and glue this down. And we're going to glue this right here in the middle. And like I said, I know that's a lot of layers on there because you're layering a pocket, another mat, and then this. But look how pretty it is. Don't y'all think that's gorgeous? I know I sure do. I love this. And this is going to be so much fun, not just to make, but to also use. So it makes me excited about my Christmas baking. And there we go. So now I'm going to fold this over, just like this, and I'm going to put art glitter glue all around, and then we are going to stick this down. So let's move this back down, and let's decide exactly where we want this to live. And I'm going down low, and I'll tell you why. Anytime you're putting a pocket, you want to give yourself as much space on the top as you possibly can to get stuff in and out of it. Oh, that's so pretty. Is that not gorgeous? Love it. Okay, the next piece, and I had kind of, you know, gone ahead of the class, and I had cut the piece for my front because I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to decide what I was going to put on my front, because normally that's what you always want to do. This is going to be the front. This one that I numbered 2, that's going to be the front of my my little folio, because if you fold this in, you fold this back like that, and you fold it shut, this is going to be the front. So I'm going to open this back out, giving myself a little bit of flat room there to work. And again, I have a piece of red, and it's going to cover that workings up, and we're going to put that down like that. And then I've got this little piece right here that I'm going to put right there. And then look at this cutie, this little cutie patootie, so precious. And I think she's going to go, I think I want it like this. I'm not going to use any dimensions because I want to, I don't want anything that's going to sit up that can peel off of this little folio, because I really think it's going to get flipped through quite a bit, especially once a year. So, and I do have certain cookies and desserts that I only make at Christmas, and this is the perfect place to keep those recipes. And you know, if you pull out some recipes out of a magazine, you can easily cut them out and stick them in one of these little pockets. And if you're like me, a lot of times I will try a recipe the way it's written, and then I will go back and alter it. So then if you alter it and you make notes, you can pull it out and make your notes on it, or you can attach a little card or a sticky note to it and say, these were my changes. Okay, so we're going to put this down right about here. I think I want it to go the more distressed edge to the bottom. So again, I'm going to using my glue, and I am going to put this down right about here, just giving myself a slight border, just like that. And you know, having these little cut aparts makes the process of this so super easy. Now I have a die that will cut the word cookies, and I really want to do the cookies. I wonder if I want to go this way. Maybe like this. We can always do cookies across the top if we need to. I like it angled that way, so we're going to go that way. That was my first initial thought of how I wanted to put that down, so I'm going to go with it. And let's go ahead and stick that down just like that. Again, I'm going to get my bone folder because I do like to adhere, just kind of smush down that glue up underneath there to make sure it has got a really good stick. Now while I'm deciding what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my pen back in my glue. And let's just go look at this. Oh, how stinking cute. I think what I want to do next before I go any further, I want to go ahead and finish the front of this. So I'm going to go and grab my stamp set and my dies that I think I can use, and we'll be right back. Okay, folks, we are back, and I have this little strip. It was in my scraps, and this is a 1-inch strip. And what I want to do is I want to come over about 3/4 of an inch. So I am going to make myself like a little tick mark, like that. And then I'm going to load up the stamp, and this came from my Nothing Better Than, and it is a Stampin' Up! Stamp set. And come October, I will be back in, so everybody hang tight until I get there. But it has this stamp set, this little stamp that says cookies. So since this is going to be a cookie recipe folio, I thought how perfect would it be to stamp cookies. And I'm going to use my little tag label maker. I'm going to turn that over because it looked like something was on that side. Oh, that was my mark. Okay, I'm going to come right to that mark, and I'm going to stamp cookies. Beautiful. Love it. So what I want to do now is I want to measure over that 3/4 of an inch again. And I'm going to make myself another little tick. Like that. And I'm going to take that to my trimmer. And I just have my trimmer over here on the side. I have a little cabinet that sits right beside my desk, and it has drawers in it. And I'm going to just cut that off right there. And that's going to give me a nice even amount on both sides. And I'm going to use this lovely label Pick-a-Punch. And this is actually a little big to go in here, but you want to know what? It does work. So even though it's an inch, and I think you're only supposed to do 3/4 of an inch, I'm going to make it work. So I'm going to slide that in, but I'm looking at it from under here so that I can get it even. And that looks pretty good to me. See how I got it angled in there? And I'm going to punch and then pull it out. And look what a cute little label that makes. And I'm going to do the same thing with this side. I'm going to slide it in. I'm going to get it centered up as good as I can. And I'm going to punch. And look how stinking cute that is going to be. Now, how cute is that going to be right there? We could do it at an angle here. You know, we could pop this up and put it like right across her little foot, but I don't want her little black patent leathers to hide. They are just so cute. You know, this is something we don't see little girls wear anymore, and I'm going to tell my age now, but hey. My grandmother used to always buy me a pair of church shoes, and they were always black patent leathers, and I wore them with those lacy little socks that turned down and the frilly little dresses with the petticoats under them. And, I mean, can I tell you, I hated them. But now when I see pictures of little girls in those types of clothing, I think they are so pretty. And now I understand why my grandmother wanted me to wear them. You know, that would look cute like that. Cookies. We can't put it over that way. What if we put it right there? I really still like it here. I'm going with my first inclination, which is right here. And we're going to put cookies right across the top. And I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. And I am just going to swirl a little bit of glue all over this cute little label. And I'm going to pop that down right about there. And I used that cream color because I didn't want anything stark white with this background, because it does have a lot of cream colors in it. So I thought that cream colored cardstock would be perfect. And I had scraps. It was scraps left over from where I made the Slimline Magnolia card the other day. So that's why, no matter how small your scraps are, just like this piece, I will not throw it away because I promise I'll probably be able to use it. So let me see where we're going now. I'm going to close this back up because I want to see if there's anything else that I want to do on here. And you know what? I think I do. I think I want to do a cookie. We've got dies in here for our cookies. And we have our beautiful little stamp set that is a, what do they call it? A two-step stamp. And look at this. We've got our little chocolate chip cookie here. And we have our little stamp right there. So let's see how we want to do this. I am thinking that I want to stamp this one first and this one second. So I am going to look back in my scrap bin. I made a big mistake and I put my magnet sheets in my scrap bin, and now it messes me up every time I come here. You know what? I'm going to do this on just a white piece of paper because we're going to color this. So I want to grab my, how about crumb cake? That sounds like a cookie, doesn't it? Let's see if the crumb cake would be a nice background color for our chocolate chip. And let's get the early espresso for our cookie itself. Let's see how this is going to look. I might not like it. I might have to go back and revisit this, but we're going to take a look at it and see what we can do. So I'm just going to grab a stamp block, and this is my crumb cake. So this is what I want my background of my cookie to look like. And I'm going to go ahead, while I'm stamping, I'm going to stamp a couple of these. Maybe let's do 3. Okay, not bad. So I'm going to turn that block over. I don't know if it's the allergies or what is going on, but I have been so congested, and I really want to think it's the allergies because I don't feel sick. So I'm going to do that, and then we are going to stamp this right over top. Ah, I love it. Love it. Now these stamps were made not to fit perfect. So that's why you have that little off center. They were made that way. But I really do love this. And I heard a little tip from another YouTuber that if you take a chapstick, and this is an old one that I'm not using anymore. Let me take if you're using the Stampin' Up! Inks and they're hard to slide, you can actually fix that problem by just running your chapstick along here, just like that. And what it does, it puts down a little coating, and then you just slide this a couple of times to get that lubricated, and then they will slide really easy from that point on. And I don't think I've done this one either. So what I've been trying to do is I use my different colors of ink. I'm trying to remember to do this. So if they're the least bit tight with my sliding, I'll treat them. And oh, that one didn't feel like it snapped, did it? There it went. Alright, now we can run these through the die cut machine and cut these little cookies out. And how precious are those going to be? And we'll have cookies to put on our card. And I think that's going to really add to the cookies and the fact that we are making cookie, little cookies that's going to look like they're falling off the page. I love it. So let's go ahead and put this right here. And we're going to cut that and put my top back on this chapstick. I don't want to mess it up because I'm saving that one. Since it's an old one and it's almost gone, I'm saving it for my stamps, if that makes sense. So I won't use that on my lips after I rubbed it on my stamps. Okay, we got a cookie. And let's go up here and get a cookie. And as I'm making these, I've just got people on my mind that I know that are bakers that would probably love an empty one of these to be able to put their recipes in and maybe give it as a gift. So I'm just absolutely thrilled with this whole idea of the little folio, and that's not where my thought process was initially. As I told you, I was thinking a little album for grandchildren, your fur babies, something like that. And then all of a sudden it just hit my brain. What about make it like a little recipe book? And how cute would that be? So I am so glad that that thought entered my brain, because this is just super duper cute. And I'm excited. I really, really am. The prospect of making this. And you know what? In my excitement, I don't think I cleaned the ink off of that stamp. Bad me. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to stick this one on here and give it a little scrub. I think I need a little bit more moisture on there. Now I'll tell you what, I'm just going to do a little water. I've got cleaner on here, so we're just going to activate it with a little bit of water. And let's try that again. See how much easier it moves when you've got some water, and it cleans it up so much better. So we'll do this one and dry it. This is the Stampin' Scrub, and I'll tell you what, this thing has changed my life. I had the Brutus Monroe, and they no longer carry them, and I never thought it was big enough to do large stamps on. And then I got this one from Stampin' Up, and I am in love with it. It works fantastic. So I'm going to put my stamps back on here now. I do like to put my stamps up as soon as I finish with them, because it's what I do. And let's put our little cookies back down here. And there we go. All right, let's bring this back over and let's see how our cookies are going to look. Kind of hanging off here and there. You know, I may have done an overkill. Maybe I need one here. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use that crumb cake, the light crumb cake. And I am going to, not with that end, I want my brush tip. And I am going to just kind of color that in. I know it's supposed to look offset like that, but I like it better kind of colored in like that. What do y'all think? And I got to be careful because I did stamp these. No, I stamped them in the Stampin' Blends. Okay, which is good. That was a dye ink. So I can come back and color this without fear of the bleed. Ooh, I love it. I love it. This is the good thing of having inks and stamps and everything that match when with Stampin' Up. And I'm still selling Stampin' Up! Even though I'm not selling it. I'm going to leave that cookie. I think I'm going to go with these. I'm going to put one right here, and I'm going to put one right there. Now, how cute. How cute is that? I love it. Alrighty. I am going to pull out my glue again and see how the ink bleeds. That's alcohol ink. After having all the problems I did with the Nouveau markers, I am thrilled to death to have really good quality alcohol markers now. What a blessing. Because when I go to use a marker, I want to know I can depend on it. And I'm not blaming Nouveau because from what I gather, they were using a manufacturer and these things are made in China, as y'all well know. And a lot of stuff is made in China, but I think if you go cheap, you get cheap, and I think that was what happened. Look at that. That set it off and did it perfect. It's cookies. So now we can go ahead. We've gotten this page done. We need to do something here and here. So, but before we go there, let's turn this over and decide what we're going to do here. This little page right here is going to need a little something something. I am thinking maybe this. Let me move some of my stuff out of my way so I can work a little bit more efficient. And I'm wondering if, oh, look at these. These are so cute. I think I want to do one of these strips on here. Okay. Now I gotta move this. Do y'all do that when you're crafting? You end up with so much stuff around you, you have to move everything in order to work? I know I certainly do. Okay, let's bring this over because I want y'all to see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this piece of paper, and I did cut off the branding strip, which is good. I'm thinking I want to go right down to that green because it's a little bit of it showing up here. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I'm going to cut right where that green strip is. So I am going to put that down and slice that up. Let's see. I did pretty good. And what I want to do is cut a strip of this to go across the bottom of that. And let me measure it because let's face it, when you're making one of these, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to bring your piece and you want to put your ruler on it and see. And I can see that a 5-inch piece will give me a tiny little border, just what I want. So I'm going to cut this at 5. So I'm going to see at 5 what that gives me. And that looks like it's going to cut right there. And that will give me all of the area that I want. So that works for me. So I'm going to cut that right there. And let's bring this back over. And I'm going to put this down right about here. And I want to look and see, maybe I want to do a piece of this as well. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I just want to put this right in the middle. How's that? I think that'd be pretty. And let me look at this red and see if I can cut a little piece of this that will slide right down inside of there. So that's why I left these pockets open. I glued these shut, but I really wish I had left them open. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow myself, and I think I'm going to have to do the same thing here, but I really want that piece to go all the way over. Decisions. Okay, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to put this piece right across the middle of that pocket. Right across the middle. Just like that. And let's see if I want to do, I want a whole piece across here all the way down to there. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this to, I think I'm going to cut that right to 2.5, 2.5 by 2.5 by 5, 2.5 by 5.25. So 2.5 by 5.25. And let's see if that will fit right across there, and it looks like it will. Let me bring this over so you can see what I'm doing. And see what I mean? That's going to cover this up really nice, and I think that's going to work for us. So I am going to go ahead and commit, and I am going to put some glue all the way down this piece, especially along the edges. And then we're going to glue this on. And what I want it to do is I want it to butt right to the top of that pocket. Not over it, but right to it. And where's my bone folder? It's really crucial that when you are gluing paper on an uneven surface like this is, that you really work that glue down with your bone folder. So now this is great because now we have a pocket here. And if you wanted to do something here, and we may come back, I may put like a little tag here or something that would depict like what kind of recipes are here. You know, the same thing here. You might want to put something up here, but we'll come back and do some finishing touches on it after the fact. The next thing I want to do is I want to glue something across this one. I want to get a piece of red paper, and here's my red, and let's see, we're gonna need to cut this down to, and I hate to tell y'all this is going to be 4, so we're going to cut that down to 3 3/4. I am not writing these measurements down now, so you will pretty much, after you get this built, you will be on your own as far as getting your mats. And I'll tell you why, because everybody's album is going to be different at this point. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. And it needs to be at 5. So we're going to need a 5-inch. Now I'm keeping all these little strips because we'll probably use those. So I'm going to bring that to 5. And this should mat perfectly right here. Yep, that is going to look so cute right there. So let's glue it down. Oh yeah, that I want there. That is adorable. Adorbs. And this one I'm not sure of. So I may end up leaving this plain and going ahead and glue it. But this right here is a definite. I love that. I think it's so cute. And of course, you know, decorating is all a personal preference. So what I like, you may not like, and what you like, I may not like. So everybody has different taste in what they like. You may not want to do this vintage at all. You may want to do this with Santa Claus and you know, or wildlife, wilderness, whatever your thing is. Okay, so we have now gotten this one done, and let's go back. We have gotten this one done, the front cover done, this inside flap, and this is all completed. So I probably want to do a little something here, but I am just not sure. What about traditions? Because isn't your cookie recipes all about your traditions? I know with my kids, it was always chocolate chip cookies on Christmas Eve. We always baked chocolate chip cookies for Santa because, you know, Santa was partial to chocolate chip cookies, and I knew this. So we always had chocolate chip cookies. So how about traditions? Oh yeah. Now I am going to snip this because, or I'll tell you what, let's put it in the trimmer because we all know I can't cut straight. I just want to get that little tiny bit off of that side. I'm wondering if I want to distress my edges there a little bit, and I think I do. I think I do because I think it's looking a little too stark to suit me. So let's get, make sure I don't run over top of my puppy dogs. Move, baby. Move, baby. Move, Belle. Bella is my little girl that stays under my chair, and I always am afraid that I am going to run her over, and I don't want to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a one of the little ink daubers for my black. So let's pull one out. Grab one out like that. And I think this will be all I need for just inking the edges of this, just to knock down some of the starkness of the color. I just thought of something else that would look really cute on this. We want it to look like it's got a little bit of soot from the stove. After all, this is called black soot. Oh yeah, that looks much, much better. So distressing can make a difference. And if I decide I don't want to use the black, I may go in with the brown. But while I'm debating all of this, let me put my pen and my glue. Just like that. And let's see. What I want to do is get my corner punch, and I want the one that is the scallop. and the stub. This is the one that I absolutely love. And I think I'm going to do the stud. We're probably going to have to go back in and ink this just a little bit, but that's okay. We'll just go back with this ink, and it's probably plenty on here for me to just hit these little corners. Just like that, and then we're going to glue this down. And just like that. Okay, I'm going to stop for right there, and I will be back in just a moment, and we will pick back up and work on this a little bit more. Be right back. Alright, I am back, and the reason for my sudden departure, my husband got home from work, and so I needed to go to the door for him. But anyway, this is where we're at right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down to here and make this a pocket. And remember what I said about kind of pushing it in a little bit like that will give you a little bit more of a gap of a pocket. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of fold that in as we stick it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue right here, just a nice little thin line on both sides. And then I am going to put my finger here, and I'm going to push that down. Just like that. And I'm going to hold it right there. Rub that down. And press it. And take the bone folder as I always tell you to do, and just press it really good to make sure that glue is holding nice and strong. And I think that page is beautiful, and it is completed. Now if you wanted to put something under here, you most certainly could, and I may come back and decorate. And like I said, I know I'm going to put something here, but the main thing I wanted to do first was to get all of the mats on it. So let's go back to the front because we haven't completed this side yet. I want to do some little half pockets, and I think I'm going to do those using the paper. So let me look back at this, and I want to use something different than what I have over here. So since I have the aprons there, I think I'm going to turn this way, and I am going to cut, I'll tell you what, let's cut us a square, and we can use one side on one page and the other on the other. That will always be a good rule of thumb. So we know that it is a 5. Let's do it at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm so bad about leaving my pen out of my glue, and that's just not the good thing to do. Okay. Alright, so 3 3/4, I mean 4 3/4, so right there. So 4 3/4 is right there. And we'll slice up. And 4 3/4 is right here. And we'll slice that. And now we're going to put this in here, and we're going to angle it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the track, and then I'm going to pivot this around just like that. And once I get it both in, I'm going to put my blade up to the middle, sink my blade, slice up and then down. and this will give us a perfect little triangle. And as you can see, we'll have another one for the other side that will be in the right orientation as well. Or maybe, you know, with this, I don't think it really matters which way it goes. This one, it does. So let's bring this back over. Let's see, we are working right here. So I want to put this one right about here. And we can do some more decorations up there. But I think this is going to be really neat. Now we're just going to glue on this side and this side. So we're going to go on both of the straight edges that's not the angle. Just like that. And then let's glue that down. Just like so. Now this is going to give us another little pocket right here to be able to stick stuff in. Love it. And again, like I said, we can do some other decorating up here after we finish getting it matted and what have you. So let me look and see what other paper we have. Before we go any further, we could do this one as well. Or let me see what else I have in here, because we got these beautiful little cut-aparts, and I don't want to ruin my cut-aparts with anything. So let's see what we have that might work. This little cup of cocoa with candy canes in it, or peppermint sticks. I think back in the day it was more peppermint sticks than candy canes. So we could definitely put that there, but I feel like it needs to be matted on something, so we're going to hold that one out for a little bit. And let me think. 'Tis the season for baking. I wonder if that would fit across there. Oh, this is cute. This looks like it was supposed to be a ticket, but the way it punched out, it was kind of, maybe we could run, no, that won't quite run that way. So we could do it right here. And you know what, we could actually stub punch it that way. I didn't angle it, I'm putting it straight in. And I'm actually using the stub end. And that looks cute. And that kind of finishes off the edges a little bit. So let's put that right across there, I'm thinking. Can y'all tell how indecisive I am? I'm sure y'all know that about me now. 'Tis the season for baking. And what if we put this other cookie right there? That would be cute. Alright, let's do that. Let's put this. We might have to do some more of those cookies. And like I said, if you don't have the same items that I have, you know, very few of us crafters have all of the identical items because we all have different tastes. So use what you got and what speaks to you. I'm just going to drop that cookie right there and just let it land where it will. Okay, so we got this one done. So now we need to work on this one. And I'm thinking I might save this piece for here. Maybe not. That's not going to quite fit. So let's see if there's another page that will fit. Oh, this is going to be so stinking cute. I am loving it already. How precious. So cute. Okay, I am going to regroup. I'm going to probably pull some, maybe some stamp sets and some dies and different things that I have and see what we can come up with. And I think I'm going to stop the decorating for this series, for this particular installment. And when we come back, we will go ahead and finish our decorating, and then in our next video we will do our recipe cards for our cookies, and I think then we can call this project successfully done. So again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in today, being a part of this little Christmas cookie folio that we're making. And this is a good time now, between now and Christmas, to start projects like this. I'm just going to thumb through this really quick and show you what we've done so far and how cute it looks and how this is definitely coming together. So we will get there. It does take a little bit of time to build something like this, but it's so worth it when we see our finished product, and especially if we have someone special we want to give something like this to. So until we craft again, God bless each and every one of you. I want to thank you so much for being a part of my channel and for tuning in and supporting me the way you do. Please leave me a comment. YouTube watches for things like that. So if you're one of those people that just watch and you never let me know you're there, I have no way of knowing that you are seeing my video unless you leave a comment, because YouTube doesn't allow me to see that. They can see who watches and who comments and who don't, but I have no way of knowing that you're there unless you let me know through a comment. Even if you do a like, I don't see those. I just see how many people liked my video, but I don't know who you are. So your comments are important to me, very, very important for me to know that you're there. Thanks again. I can't say thank you enough, so I do say it quite often. But God bless you, and as I always say in closing, let everything you do and say bring glory to God, for He is so worthy. Until we craft again, bye-bye.